ChristianGeekCentral.com.
Hold still! You lied to me, you lied to me! In the face, in my face. Put it in the peanut butter. In the face, in my face, in the face, in my face. In the face, in my face.
I thought you said this guy was a Christian. What is this?
Liberate tutte me.
Oh my gosh. I just watched the end of the first season finale of The Flash. I cannot believe that this show has gone. It feels like it's been, it feels like it's been on for more than one season because so much has happened, so much has developed over the course of this one season. And this show started out being a show that I would kind of somewhat grudgingly have to keep up with, maybe at a bit of a delay, just whenever I find time, I watch it on Hulu or something like that, to a show that it's not quite appointment viewing for me. It's really going to take a lot for me to sit through commercials on some network's timetable. But you better believe that I will be tuning in and jumping to the CW page and watching new episodes as soon as possible after this. You better believe I'm going to buy the first season of The Flash. Still not going to do Arrow. I don't think I can do it. I might watch the season finale and I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to talk about The Flash. Holy crap. All the things that the ways these characters have changed. Eddie Thawne, and, I don't want to talk spoilers, but I mean, as much as the dialogue can feel contrived and predictable, like with Iris West telling Barry, you just got to follow your heart. I mean, I even said it to the screen before she said it out loud. There are certainly some contrived cliche elements in this show, but the father-son relationship between Barry and Joe keeps me coming back, and the father-son relationship between Barry and his father Henry, and then the dealing with his, okay, I'm going to go full on spoilers, being able to have that moment with his mom before she died. I was in tears in several points during this episode. It's so weird because there are certainly still parts of the show that are so CW, they're so shallow that I'm just I've never in a show been so disgusted and then emotionally invested in such a short span of time. But what they've done with this show over the first season, it's just fantastic. Even setting aside what a DC nut I am, I'm a sucker for a father-son story, and I think I'm just in the right stage of life right now to have a story like this resonate with me. These kind of father-son subplots, and the actors are also bringing their A game. I mean, I don't know the guy's name who plays Barry, but man, in his conversation with his dad, in jail, and then him just weeping, at his mom's side as she's dying. I mean, oh my gosh, there was some really heavy, intense stuff. And then Eddie Thawne's sacrifice of himself at the end was very moving. And I have hated Eddie Thawne's character. He's just had all of his product in his hair, and he's dresses way too stylish, for an on-duty, detective or whatever the crap he is. I mean, it's ridiculous, the kind of the shallow CW-ness of this show, and how at the end of the day that doesn't matter when they're having these scenes that involve who these characters are, what they care about. It is a surprisingly character-driven show in these crazy spurts, I still wish I understood more about who Barry was and what made him tick. I think he's just a little bit too much of kind of this paragon of virtue, and I'd like to know just a little bit more about his quirks and personality and insecurities and stuff like that. I feel like he's given kind of token insecurities, but he's not a person in a lot of ways that I can relate to, but he's in circumstances and he has relationships that I can relate to, like the father-son relationships. But him as a person, I have trouble relating to. And Iris West, she is becoming less annoying to me. I still don't think she has, enough substance to her character. I think she needs a whole lot more to work with. I want to know why in the world Barry sees anything in her, because okay, I get that she's beautiful, but in CW land, everyone's beautiful. So she's not standing out to me. But something about her performance, I'm not sure what it is, but the last few episodes at the end of this season have made her a little bit more real to me, a little bit more grounded to me, a little bit more like a person that I can believe exists, you know? Wow. I don't even know what to talk about. I'm just kind of like stunned after watching this episode. Holy crap! Jay Garrick's helmet flying out of the wormhole, and Reverse Flash, Eobard Thawne saying, "That's my cue to leave." Like, oh my gosh, I thought Jay Garrick was going to step out of the singularity at the end of the episode, and he didn't. So I'm guessing that they're not going to let that go. I'm guessing Barry's going to run into this singularity and he's going to fix it, but in the process he's going to be thrown through time and he's going to meet Jay Garrick at that point. But that's just a wild guess. But oh man, I don't even have anything worthwhile to say. I don't even know why anybody would watch this video, because it's not all that interesting. But I felt just narcissistic enough to get in front of the camera as I expressed my feelings about the Flash. I'm just really surprised. I mean, I've been basically up to this point, I've been watching the show as I play a video game. I'll put it on my laptop, and like anytime there's like Iris West coming on or any just kind of like stupid CW dialogue, then I'm like, da play a video game. Oh, okay, we got a scene with Joe. Okay. Oh, okay, we got some Flash, super speed stuff going on. Okay, I'll watch that. So I've been kind of like mentally checking in and out of this show as I watch each episode. I was fully engaged in this episode, and it was just wonderful. If we could get more episodes like this, that would be great. I think this episode probably worked for me because it was the culmination of a lot of building up of this story over the course of this season. And then also just because it was dealing with just kind of like heavy drama and stuff like that, which I really dig. But they have totally changed the status quo of this show, and I love that. I love that finally, Iris knows about his identity and stuff. I was hoping they weren't going to just be teasing us with that forever. But and they're playing with a lot more DC continuity, which you think might bog things down. But I think it doesn't seem to be distracting me from the core things that I actually care about, which ironically are not the DC stuff, even though that's candy. I love it. It's those relationships. It's Barry's relationship with Joe. It's his relationship with his dad. Those familial bonds. Being explored. And all the DC continuity stuff hasn't been getting in the way of that. But it's great because the status quo. I mean, Harrison Wells is gone. I don't think that's going to last, though. I have a funny feeling that maybe the real Harrison Wells will continue to be a part of the show, that the timeline has changed. I mean, if you think about this, at this point now, if we're going to believe what they're trying to get us to believe at the end of this, Reverse Flash is not going to exist at all. Well, if he's not going to exist at all, then Barry's mom is going to live because she was killed by the Reverse Flash. And not only that, but all the stuff that they were predicting would change if Barry successfully saved his mother's life is now going to change, and then some. I think a ton more is going to be changed as well. And I don't think they're going to change the show that much. And I can't, even though you can't deal with time travel in fiction really and retain a completely consistent inner logic. I mean, they're bringing parallel realities into stuff, but that's really just kind of like that's sidestepping the issue. Man, it's gonna have to be crazy. So I don't think the Reverse Flash is dead, because too much about the status quo would have to change, for the Reverse Flash to be dead. And we saw Eddie get sucked up into the singularity. He's fine. He's gonna be just fine. And he's going to, if they follow the comics, he's gonna become Zoom, which is kind of like a modern retake on the idea of the Reverse Flash. Because that's who, if I remember correctly, Eddie Thawne was in the comics. He was a detective who then got all jacked up, and then blah, 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 blah. He got super speed and became, the nemesis of the Flash, of Wally specifically. So anyway, yeah, I think Eddie's going to eventually be, Zoom or some kind of new Reverse Flash or something. So he's not dead. He's going to be just fine. Wow. Yeah, I'm so excited about this show. It's finally got me to the place where I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't wait for the next episode. And now I gotta wait till freaking October or whatever it's gonna be. ChristianGeekCentral.com